Yeah, yeah,
I still need to think of something to fucking talk about is the thing. I get so wrapped up in this production process. I'm like, I'm gonna have a little TV and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna have charities and it's gonna be like everything's just gonna be good all the time. And then I remember also that I have to come on here and like do a funny show that people like. I'm like, oh right. After doing all that work, I have to just be like, yeah, I'm high energy. I'm great. I know about current events. What are you guys doing? Hello. Welcome to RATURDAY night. My name is Rachel. As you know, I got that name because it has the word rat in it. We got Apollo Ilios coming on tonight, which is like, y'all, this is one of those things that this is a reach for me, I think. Like, I'm this is I mean, this is RATURDAY night's best episode so far, and I already know that. Guess what? I have a whole script here that I can't read because I smoked too much of a cigarette. Tonight we are plugging a bunch. I'm going off the fucking script. Here we go. Charity. Boom bam bop. Type that in chat. Tonight we're plugging a bunch of different charities. A friend of mine is close with several of Toronto's tenants unions, which is like a labor union, but instead of organizing against your boss, you're organizing not against, but to negotiate with your landlord. It's really cool. They've done some really cool actions. There's this one tenant union with this notoriously bad building, and the tenants union like broke into these unused apartments in this awful apartment building and just chilled there and turned it into a fucking food bank. Like, that's fucking crazy that shit like that is happening. The revolution won't be televised, but it might be on Discord, so, that's great. Want to say right at the top, obviously, RATURDAY night is not affiliated with any charity listed. Any donations through Streamlabs, PayPal, or etc. go to support the show. I do want to do a generous thing and plug these charities, but also I'm a starving artist too. I need to make money. I'm not starving though. I'm fine. But yeah, type !charity in the chat to get that link. It's like a scuffed little web page that I threw together in 10 seconds. Alright, hold on. I'm realizing that I put my notes and the webcam both in Discord, so I'm like, I'm learning new techniques on the fly here. Here we go. Alright, cool. Yeah, how was your day? Oh wait, shit, I can't find the right one. Okay. How are we feeling? Do we want the guest? Let's get the guest in. I gotta stop talking. We'll get the guest in here. It'll be great. Just you wait. 1 second here. It's this button. Okay, and then... guest time. Exactly. They won't know also, I will be jump scaring them with this suddenly coming to life and dancing around like a real boy. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Oh wait, hold on. I have to play the intro. Man, this intro has been scuffed as fuck. Anyway, enjoy.
RATURDAY night is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Welcome to RATURDAY night. Apollo Ilios is in my notes again. Apollo Ilios is a first-year and union organizer. His Starbucks was the first in Kansas City to unionize after a walkout that cost him his job. Last I read, he's now fighting to get that back. Actually, we just talked about that. Found a different Starbucks that's not controlled by Starbucks. We're fucking fighting from within the system. I love that kind of energy of like, yeah, fuck you. I like this job. I'm coming back. Anyway, how's it going?
It's just been kind of crazy for me.
Oh, loud noise? Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, loud noise. Loud noise should be gone now.
Noises.
Well, there's the best 3 minutes of television. There's the best 3 minutes of television down the fucking drain. Whoopsies.
It is what
Also, I apologize. I'm like still eating pizza.
No, that's chill. What kind of pizza?
Just like a really like small personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. Because the Starbucks Target that I work at also works next to a Target Pizza Hut.
it is. Nice.
So
So
I could just make pizza whenever I want to.
That's so cool.
So-
They let you do that?
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, the
Sorry, go ahead.
Starbucks and the cafe are connected.
Oh,
So
okay, I
mean,
see. So it's this. It's sort of the same kitchen. I see. I understand.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so
Okay.
cool.
So like, is it like a pepperoni pizza or like a?
It is.
Okay.
It is just pizza with a lot of cheese because
Nice.
I love cheese.
Hell yeah.
I also love cheese. It hates my body though.
Yeah. Thankfully, I haven't developed any issues with dairy yet.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say
holding
count your
on to
blessings.
I mean, that's great. God, I hope to God, never, never, never lactose intolerance, anything but that. God, but you gotta love a fucking huge ass. Is it just cheese? It's just the bread and then the cheese, or you have tomato sauce as well?
actually, it's just bread and cheese.
It's just bread and cheese, folks.
Damn. Okay.
Skipped the sauce. I was just like, I just want a fuck ton of cheese.
Chat, we do have
I respect it.
confirmation. For those of you for those of you who are holding out on this part of the conspiracy, it is just bread and cheese.
I mean, that's basically at that point. That's just like cheese bread, isn't it?
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it's.
I mean, yeah, no,
it's
I mean,
cheese
I'm-
pizza with no
Usually
tomato
I
sauce.
just opt for a pepperoni pizza, but last night while I was making it, I was just like, I really just want a fuck ton of cheese. Like, how much cheese can
Can we
I
see it?
pile
Like, you have
onto
the
this?
webcam here.
Oh,
Is that gonna make a mess? You don't have to show us.
my room is a little bit of a mess, so I'm trying not to move my webcam.
Okay. That's
I can
fair.
guarantee you the little garage I got going on here in my place, messier than that. You'll be fine.
All right, there we go. Sorry, Hoot. I forgot to turn on your producer screen. It should be going now.
Okay,
wow.
well there you go. Take a look at my
Scuffed as
garage.
hell.
There's 2 cars back there, and you can't see the floor, which is full of like sockets, wrenches, ratchets, everything.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Dude, no, okay, so this is the thing. This is not a physical space for me. A friend of mine is like a robot that's also God. It's kind of complicated. So I'm just in virtual reality right now. But if you could see me, I'm catatonic with the SEO machine on my head. Fucking Sort Out Online machine on my head. Anyway.
The search engine optimization Sort Out Online.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to us about this like getting this Starbucks unionized. Let's talk about this. A lot of the questions I got from fans were like, what kinds of tactics, or like, how can someone, the big one that came up a bunch was like, how can someone who's looking like start to unionize their workplace in that way?
Well, first of all, you want to really gauge interest, because I mean, it's really kind of a tricky situation because if not everybody or most, if most people aren't already on board with, potentially unionizing, and you go around like asking people and everything, you might have a snitch or two. depending on how like tight knit your crew is.
Mm-hmm.
But for Starbucks workers in general, you can reach out to Starbucks Workers United. That is the union that is like handling all of our cases and everything like that. And they will help you with that process of trying to spread like correct information and tactics to gauge interest and stuff like that, and they will help you like every single step of the way. So yeah, that's how I would start is you got to contact the union first.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I think I mean, like, these are things you can find on Google, obviously, but there's also, I don't know, I guess this is sort of a political area I'm not that familiar with. Is there, like, beef between different unions?
Generally, no.
Okay, thank God. Because I was going to be like, I've seen the fucking IWW guide, and it's pretty comprehensive, and I didn't understand a word of it because I'm, you know... So, but there are guides out there, and they're fantastic. How did you first get turned on to like labor and union politics?
It just kind of happened. Before all of this, I was literally just a Starbucks worker. And then I wasn't even the one that reached out to Starbucks Workers United in the first place. It was another one of our coworkers that did that. And for a while, like they were kind of the spearhead for our store.
And you've been saying that as well. That I remember one of the first tweets after like I found your Twitter and started following you was like, I'm not the hero of this story. Like there are so many people working together.
Yeah.
And, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and that's for the movement as a whole. But for me, it's like one of our coworkers reached out to Starbucks Workers United, and we had been talking about unionizing for a little while, and she just got the ball rolling and everything, and then she was like in contact with them, like not organizing rallies, but she was keeping everybody updated on like coming rallies, and this and that and everything, and then culminated in a strike at our store, and that was the first time I wore Apollo like publicly, actually.
First, like, ever? Like, this was your debut?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so cool.
I gotta say, that is fucking metal to have, like, a public fursuit debut at a workers' strike. That's metal as fuck.
Yeah,
that does not get any more hardcore than that.
That's legitimately sick as hell. That's fucking...
We intending to, like, have my debut be this way, but it just happened that way.
I know, but all great art does happen that way.
Yeah, like, you should definitely be proud of that, like, even though it wasn't necessarily the plan you thought. Like, in my opinion, like, what you might have had it would be very hard to top a debut at a worker strike.
Yeah.
Literally, I'd had Apollo for maybe a month.
Yeah.
And
that's so cool.
When we first started talking about striking, we talked about striking for I think a week before it actually happened. It's like I think we decided we wanted to strike on a Friday, and we can't just like say, okay, we're walking out now. It like has to be like actually organized. So Starbucks Workers United helped us with that and everything, and the process took like 7 or 8 days. And during that time, I was like discussing with my coworkers. I was like, I just got this fursuit, and they had known about this because I had been sharing like progress reports with my friends and everything, and they're like super on board with it.
Mhm.
I was
That's
like, should
hella.
I wear it to the strike? And they were like, absolutely, you should. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's
That's
all
so
I needed, really.
And
so.
that's
Sorry, go ahead. Hoot.
like, sorry, that is a thing that I was wondering was like there were some people on Twitter who was saying this was a bad look. And the thing is,
Mhm.
first of all, I would say if the people you're walking out with are fine with it, then that's fine. But it's also very what?
Uh-oh.
Oh, she's she's away from the mic. But anyway, okay. Uh, so it's really cool to know that like the workers you were working with were also on board and actively encouraging you to wear Apollo at the
Mhm.
strike, given the fact that that was pretty much the only criticism I saw that had any basis for anything, and it was still baseless. But
Yeah.
it was still like pretty much the only critique I found, and it was like knowing that the workers that you were walking out with were on board with it to that degree is like, well,
Mhm.
now I can't say anything. Shut up.
I mean, literally. Um, besides, furries like saying it's a bad look or whatever. And this is like why people think furries don't take anything seriously. It was like I was taking it seriously, and that's
Yeah,
exactly why I did it. Uh, and then basically everybody else who like doesn't like that I did it was basically ew, furries cringe. That's it.
yeah.
It's so played now. Who did you bring up the Peter Coffin tweet while I was away?
Oh
I
my
was
No,
God,
saving that
no!
one.
I didn't get to that. I didn't get to that.
What
But
were
you're
we?
fine to bring it up.
Sorry, what were we talking about just now? I just dropped in.
I was just saying that the primary criticism that I saw levied at Apollo was just that it's a bad look, like not only from
Mhm.
furries but also from non-furries as
Right, this
well.
was what. So you didn't bring it up by name, but you were like,
N- Well, no,
you were
because
really
Peter
stealing my
Coff.
thunder with that one.
No, 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 because Peter Coffin's angle was different and also worse.
Okay, here's the thing. I want this to be like chill, and so if bombarding you with bad takes about your fursuit is like gonna really bring you down.
I don't care.
Okay, sick. First of all,
I
I
mean,
actually. Sorry, go ahead.
my thing is right is like I feel like we're all on board in the sense where we can be like, all right, this take is bad, and it's so bad we can laugh at it. I'm pretty sure
Oh
we're
Yeah.
all on
yeah,
board with that.
absolutely.
Definitely. I'm reminded. I don't like. I'm wondering, is the first place that you sort of picked up leftist politics like in your workplace trying to organize? I just wanted to zero in on
Uh,
that part of the story because I think that's so fascinating.
well, no, I've been, um,
Okay.
I consider myself a socialist for quite a while, actually. Um, but typically I'm pretty like timid person and not what you would call a go-getter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very much a sidelines kind of person, which is bad, but like, it's just who I was with like my social anxiety and the
Mm-hmm.
ADHD and a whole slew of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and where was I going with this?
We were talking about
Um,
how you first got into like leftist
Oh,
politics. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I've had leftist views for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I really didn't like start doing uh anything with like the whole union like process like being like directly involved um until after I got fired. Because before it was like, oh, like I really want to unionize, but we need to play it safe. So it's like, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna be a good worker, and I'm gonna go to like these rallies and everything, and blah blah blah. I signed petitions that Starbucks told us to shred. I signed the union letter that went out publicly to Starbucks, and then after our strike, I signed a paper that was like, "Oh, we will return to work unconditionally after the strike, just like so you know." So it's like I was very vocal about like my union support. I wore union pins. Starbucks, like our manager, tried posting false information in the store, like actively telling us to vote no, which is illegal, by the way. So I made a counter infographic and had another partner print them out, and then I replaced the false information in the store.
Do you have those posters? Can we? Where would I take a look at those? Because that sounds really fun.
It was literally something I threw together like in 30 minutes.
Okay, I'm not going to put you on the spot then.
I mean, it would
no,
also
I can find it.
it would also like honestly, and like some of the anti-union rhetoric used by people like managers, like especially like store managers, rather than people who are like employed in the corporate sector of a company, they don't tend to have the strongest arguments. So more often than not, 30 minutes is really all you need, and then that's all. all the brain energy that is really needed to
Just
give it a little push. Yeah.
So I sent the little infographic to you.
Okay, perfect.
On Discord.
I've had a oh, this is good. This is actually so good.
It was like,
I like it
because it was supposed to be an infographic telling us like how mechanically to vote. But the original one like actually said please vote and vote no, which is illegal.
Definitely.
And it went through everything, telling people like how to vote. And wow, my train of thought is all over the place today.
RATURDAY night is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
That's okay. Whoops, we're back now. All right. Yeah, we were wow. Reset the momentum. No, we were talking about this poster, and so you were saying that like what they were trying to like enforce as like the normal would be to vote against the union. Is that what I'm like? The instructions explicitly were like, this is the correct thing to do.
Yeah, because it was like, please vote and vote no, and then it was like, vote yes if you want to give up the right to like speak for yourself and like sever your direct relationship with Starbucks. It was just like anti-union bullshit, and I was like, I'm not about this.
I love that they basically state straight on, it's like, oh, but if you have a union, then you can't talk directly to the corporate. And it's like, I can't talk to corporate now.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Y'all have been ignoring us in the first place. Like,
yeah.
This is the thing. If the relationship between like Starbucks and the store was better, then there wouldn't need to be an intermediary, right? But like, it's like this is the thing, is people start fucking with you and you have to like get together. I don't know. I've just recently at my job, I have a handler because I work on like a Uber Eats for complicated things, and the person who like sends me shit has recently changed. I had like an old guard, like 69-year-old woman who was like, just this was just what she did, and she was like, yep, I have no complaints about it. And I got she was replaced with one of those women who's like, hi, we're all here as a team. You know, and I get so fucking terrified because I think like, uh-oh. You know, it's, they send them to these re-education camps. It's not true. I'm lying, but
no, but like
feels
they
like
do
that.
though. They honestly do, because like I had the same thing go on at a Walmart that I used to work at when I was still in high school. It was the summertime, so there was no school, and I was coming in for regular early shifts in the morning when they would first open, and every time about an hour after open, they would pull everybody from their department to the front of the store, have a debrief or a briefing or whatever you want to call it, and then at the end they do this little song and dance and ditty and like clap their hands, and it's all like, yeah, go family, we're team family, we're good, we're a family and a team. And then it was so, like, at the time I was like, this is cringe, this is bad, but like looking back at it, I was like, they were trying to manipulate me into thinking they were my friends. And it was awful.
You can just you can just be friends with your coworkers. That's the thing, is nobody understands that. I don't.
Yeah, no.
The most frustrating part of it was like at one point I just got so tired of it because I was just there to work. I'm not here to make friends with anybody, you know. If I work with friends, then cool, but you know, I'm there to work. And I didn't bother with the whole literal dancing that they were asking us to do. So they called me out on it in the middle of the meeting. They were like, come on, you got to dance. You know, we're part of a team. We got to dance as a team. And I was like, I am sorry, but I am tired. I just want to get the work done.
See,
and then I left.
My first job ever was completely the opposite, where like nobody gave a single fuck. It was like a shoebox McDonald's drive-through at a truck stop. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm just working here. But everyone there, we would have like fucking movie nights, like it was, and this all came about naturally because we were all like, yeah, this job really fucking sucks, and management didn't come in enough to be like, okay, here's how it's gonna go. It really, I think it speaks to sort of like the real strength of like these sort of flat hierarchies, that like if you know, if you are like getting along like as friends and also as politically with your coworkers, it's like it just makes everything so much easier. And so like this is what makes having a job at all bearable.
Yeah, but like the problem that I find is that a lot of employers acknowledge this and attempt to apply it to their own means, but most people in management positions do not know how to behave as like people. Like genuinely, they struggle to
How's
make
your
like
manager?
actual.
Let's talk about this. Let's let the guest speak. How's your manager?
Our previous manager, you know, before she was bullied out of the company, we kind of just assumed that she was like another mindless corporate robot. And like looking back on it, it was really like the district manager, because she was like playing mental and emotional warfare with her.
God.
Oh, sheesh.
Literally, like she, like our manager would try to go above the district manager about things that were being ignored, that she's been asking for help and everything. And then the district manager would come back and just be like, oh, she's just emotional and aggressive because she's got like mental illness and blah blah blah.
Oh,
literally,
Like classic fucking abuser tactics. Like, not to get too on the nose with it, but that's like, you know, that's when someone wants to break you down. That's kind of what they start telling themselves.
Exactly.
That's kind of the thing with corporate, like with the corporate landscape as well. It's just like they're all abusive, manipulative people, because you don't get to the positions that they're in without manipulating the shit out of people.
Yeah, no, it was literally awful. And like when she left and like opened up about everything, we were like, holy shit. Like I felt so bad because I had blamed her for a lot of the problems like in her store and like the way like we were being treated and everything. But like it was really really bad for her. Uh like looking back, it was like every single day she would like break down crying at some point.
Jesus.
Um
That's a lot. That is a
yeah,
lot.
it's terrible.
Um,
Um and
wow.
since then it's just like uh she's okay in my book now.
Hmm.
Because something I always said when she worked there, I was just like, outside of work, I think she would be a really, really cool person because I've had
Hmm.
some great conversations with her um, on like good days, and she's like super nice and personable and
Hmm.
just like fun. Um, but then she puts her manager hat on, and it's like a completely different person, and uh, she's basically being bullied to bully us almost.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say bully us, but
I mean, that.
she was very like stick up her ass. Like that was
Hmm.
the kind of manager that she was. Um and now I know that she did not want to be that kind of manager.
Hmm.
Uh she just didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is, I think part of the thing is that at some point we kind of lost track of sort of the incentives and why we're all doing this big collective project.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of just a string of people bullying people because those people are being bullied into, it's such a chain that it's I don't know. I feel like I wish we could just turn it off and turn it back on again. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
We've sort of gotten ourselves stuck down this awful path of this maze. We're cornered in with this minotaur metaphor, etc. Yeah, holy shit. That sounds that I don't know. That is so fucking evil. Was she
Yeah.
is she
Yeah.
okay? Do you talk to her still?
I don't talk to her myself. I know that one of our partners did like keep in contact with her. I think she's doing well now. Um, so all's well. Well, I can't say all's well that ends well because it's not well yet. But
Yeah.
I mean, nor is it
But
over.
yeah.
exactly.
But it's good that she was able to find something
Hmm.
to do after that, and I hope for you and the manager and everybody involved in such a
Sorry, there's a
fucking
dog
miserable
rally outside.
fiasco.
Yeah,
Everybody, I I just want the best for everybody, kind of thing.
for
Like,
sure.
yeah, like workers' rights have taken a big backslide in the past 2, 3, 4 decades, and it's gonna take a long time and a lot of pain and heartache to try and get it back.
Yeah. Uh, the new manager though, like total lapdog. Like she didn't even like try to be anybody's friend. Um, so we don't like new managers.
Okay.
Oof.
Well, I hope she's not watching. I mean, are they going over this? Is it that deep where fucking
I don't think
Monsanto is
so.
name searching you?
I don't
Sorry,
think
there's
so.
a rally going on outside, so the dogs and everything.
Well, I mean, I would go as far as saying they're too inept. Like,
What
I
do you
mean,
mean?
Absolutely.
I've seen the anti-union rhetoric and the propaganda being used, and it's very basic, low-level emotional shit, and it has no substance. It's all just like, oh, but we treat you well, right? And they have no self-awareness about how poorly they're treating people. So they're too inept to actually fight the unions or unionization efforts. They're not watching the stream. And if
Okay.
they are, hey,
Hello.
middle finger.
So wait, I actually found like the false information poster that they
Oh shit.
like put up in the store.
All right, let's get dissectual
Alright.
with this.
Let's
Cut this open.
There was just like a couple things that I just like changed because it was wrong. First of all, at the very top, it just says, "Please vote and vote no," and you can't tell your employees how to vote. That is illegal.
Yeah, that's not. That one ain't it. Maybe next time.
So it was like, oh, find the ballot and place an X in the yes or no box. There are two options. Vote no in favor of keeping your direct relationship with Starbucks. 2, vote yes to give up your rights to speak for yourself and have Workers United as your exclusive bargaining agent. And I was like, that's not happening.
I'm not having that. No.
We already don't have the right to speak for ourselves because we've tried. And you just ignore us. Also, Workers United is not our exclusive bargaining agent because people from the store have to be on the bargaining team. So,
the thing that gets me though is like that whole like, you know, vote yes if you want to lose your ability to bargain about your wage and stuff like that, because like I said, these people are not self-aware in the slightest.
no.
They don't know how their businesses run on the absolute ground level.
Oh god,
so they don't know just how poorly their workers are treated, not only by managers but also by customers. They don't know how poorly they're being paid. They don't know how poorly they're being compensated for their time, not only in regards to payment but also with like insurance and with you know, benefits and stuff like that.
Can I take this one step? Sorry, can I take this one step further and say like, a lot of the time they literally don't know what happens in the building. Like I remember they give you these training videos, and I'm sure you've seen these too, that are all like, here's how the DX900 grill does this and this, and it's you get in there, you know, and everyone is like, okay, we don't have that, we have this. This is this, and you have to do this differently because if you do it like that, then it'll break. It's like, there's such dissonance between what I think the owners of Capital think goes on in the things that they own and what actually happens. I remember, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, actually, I can tie into that a little bit. Our district manager, like before, like shit hit the fan. She was just like in her store one day, and she was just like taking a look around and everything, and then she points to the chocolate malt powder that we have, and she goes, "Well, what's this?" I was like, "It's the chocolate malt powder," and she's like, "Oh, what's it used for?" I was like, is this for fucking real?
Yeah.
Like you are the district manager, and you don't know that we've had the chocolate almond milk shaken espresso for almost a year now.
It's wild. They just don't know. They don't care.
Well, I mean, what the biggest fucking thing like is that there's a show, and I'm sure everybody has heard of it, and if you haven't, then thank God for you. It's called Undercover Boss.
Yeah.
And what it is, it's basically this show where an executive or an owner of a company goes undercover as a ground level worker, saying that he's making a documentary.
For the chat, just in case. There's an Australian in chat, so we do need to be culturally, you know, inclusive.
Right, yeah. But every episode of this show features the boss being completely inept at their job, being completely inept at every single thing they're tasked with doing, and what they do about it at the end is fucking nothing.
Yeah.
They don't
100%.
change anything about the way that their business runs. They say they do, but they never do.
This is
And what they do for the individual employers or employees that they interact with is they give them vacations, like all paid by the company. They give them, pay for their kids' tuitions or something, but they don't increase their wages.
yeah. It has to be big gestures. Oh, hello, Apollo Ilios in chat. What's going on? First time viewer. Thank you so much
First
for
time
joining.
chatter in the chat.
Wow.
I don't-
Hello.
I don't want this entire thing to be like, oh, one time I had a boss who fucking sucked, because this is supposed to be a fun show.
Right. Well, how about
so
we, since I brought it?
I want to pivot.
Sorry, go ahead.
I want to pivot.
It's
What
your
were you
turn.
gonna bring up?
I was gonna just be like, well, since I brought up vacations, have we all thought about like where we want to go when like the whole global panorama isn't a thing anymore?
I feel like that's still
Um,
sad because you framed it in the context of the pandemic.
Well, yeah.
So
I'm bad. Sorry.
You suck. I beat the fucking.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't really going anywhere to begin with. So, with the exception of like conventions.
Oh, that's fair. That's
Have
still
a-
a vacation, though.
Okay, let's talk about
Yeah.
conventions then. Have you been? So you've been to at least one.
Yeah, I've been to Anthrocon like 4 times.
Okay, sick.
But that's about it.
Do you
Is
have any
that like local
stories?
to you?
It was when I lived in Pennsylvania. Well, I would say
Oh, okay.
local, but yeah, it was only like a 5-hour drive, which is like not that bad.
That's cool.
sorry.
though.
I'm jealous. You go ahead and answer.
I
ask
had
your
a
que- I'm sorry, I'm hosting
I don't
the thing.
remember what I was gonna say. That's okay.
You were gonna ask ask us some stories from the convention.
Yeah. Do you have any stories? Con stories? Con stories are our favorite.
Yes.
Our like thing that we send to apply for arts grants is like. One time I did coke at a con and there's and they think that's very funny and edgy. That's sort of one of those cartoons for older kids kind of thing.
So I don't really have any con stories.
Okay. Well,
Like almost every single con that I've been to, or try to hang out with the people like that I'm friends with, they all like have their own like friend groups. And then I just kind of get ghosted, which is like
Oof.
really not fun.
don't ghost your friends.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So a lot of the time I just kind of end up walking the convention alone and seeing like what the video game room is like, or
Okay,
just
well,
kind of browsing the dealer's den.
I mean, it's definitely not going to be like that next time. You're gonna have your own fucking panel next time.
Oh yeah.
Have a little merch store set.
Like
All
like
about that.
it won't even matter if you go with a friend group or not. You're just always gonna have this like trail of people following you, asking you to take their picture with you.
I have a question, actually. I have a question.
What's up?
Oh god, it was right on the top of my head. Tip of my tongue. It was about the design. So Apollo's a baby. Apollo just came out. Apollo just had their debut.
Yeah.
Let's talk so the design is very fresh in your head. Let's talk about
Oh, well, not really. Paulo's been my persona for years and years.
Okay.
And
How did we get to this point?
I didn't like design like a persona.
Okay, so I have this very important question, and it is a very important answer that you will provide. Did you design your persona through a persona maker?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
I mean,
Yeah, where does
when I
Apollo...
was-
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
when I was a freshman in high school, I did like that really like basic like wolf ref sheet line art that everybody does or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I've since gotten like an actual ref sheet and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Apollo has changed a little bit throughout the years. But it, you know,
Here, I'm sorry, I'm just grabbing a quick pic from the internet. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking like, this is extremely classic. I love this. This is adorable. You could be the mascot of a hockey team, but you don't have to be if you don't want to be.
I love that icon so much. It was made by one of my dear friends, Raxel. I think his Twitter handle, I think, is literally just Raxel H. RAXAALH.
I will drop that in the chat right now. While we're sending links, reminder, there's charities linked if you type charity. Like that.
But then also he's tagged in my profile on Twitter because he drew both my icon and my banner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that icon so much.
It's really expressive. It really speaks to like who you are as a person.
Yeah,
it is just so cute.
The one thing between right now and when we started, between when we started and like when we were just setting up, I went out for my smoke. I came back. And I was just the whole time texting, they're such a fucking sweetheart. They're so sweet. It's just a little sweetie. And it's like, this is perfect. This is 100% perfect.
Wonderful.
We love Apollo. Fantastic design. So what were you back then when you were like in high school doing your wolf base version? What were your thoughts? Like where does each part of this design come from?
Oh gosh, I don't even like remember all that well. I'm gonna pull up my rough sheet here.
Yeah.
Because he's always had the music staff on his chest.
as a music producer, big props for that.
And then he's always had like the blue-tipped tail. He's always had the ear stripes, and then the lines going down his muzzle. Those have always been there.
Yeah.
I keep pulling up the wrong version of this image. Sorry, 1 second here.
There's so many.
There we go.
They were multiplying.
Here we go. We had our.
Oh my god.
Maybe I should keep the waist below the edge of the screen. Just to be careful. And I do actually want to talk about that because if you don't want to talk about this, we don't have to at all. But when I first saw your Twitter, you just had your AD fully just right there.
Oh yeah.
I think that's so fucking bold. I think. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, it was there beforehand. That's the thing. Because most people, they just have their AD linked to their profile. And then I started getting a public attention, and I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it up. I mean, there's a warning. There's like an NSFW warning.
Yeah.
If people click on it, it's not my fucking fault.
Yeah.
That is, I gotta say, a hell of a bold power move. Being all like, "Hey, I am fighting for workers' rights. Take a look at my persona's dick." That's great. I love it.
I have to.
That's
okay,
amazing.
I have a salient point to bring out of this, which is, there's this one side who's saying like, it's like too silly to wear a fur. Union politics are serious big boy business. And then there's also this other side that are like, what the inclusion of like furry and sexuality in this is actually part of what keeps it from being co-opted by, the broader sort of engine that resists organizing. And I wonder, I guess we can start with like the people who think it's too well. Okay, where do you want to start? What do you think about these two kinds of people?
About it's too silly and what? It's too sexual?
It's too silly, and actually it being silly is what makes it good.
Oh.
What makes it like less co-optable, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, people, there are going to be people that have preconceived notions about, uh, who and what furries are. Um, and it's going to be difficult to like change the minds of those people,
Mhm.
because it's like a bias, but at the same time, this is just a hobby.
Mhm.
So it's not like, uh, sexuality or um, gender orientation or you know uh, anything like that. It's just a hobby, so there's less pressure uh, on people to accept it. And
Right,
if they
yeah.
don't want to, they're not going to.
Mhm.
Um,
I think definitely. I think there's some debate going on right now about like whether furry is inherently queer, and so like I don't know. I think it's. I don't know. I like being a funny animal person, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
well, I've actually like done a little bit of research into that,
Oh, let's talk
um,
about it. Yes, dude.
just a little bit,
Okay.
because I love talking about like gender and sexuality and everything like that. Um, I did like my high school like final project on LGBT history.
Mhm.
Um, I did an LGBT themed project for my statistics class. Um, I love talking about it. So one day I just kind of like went down the rabbit hole and everything on like furries and like sexuality and gender orientation. Um, and I think a like staggering like 80 plus percent of furries are non-straight.
Yeah. I mean, why would
Um,
you be?
yeah, pretty much. But then on top of that as well, like I think the statistic was like 22% of furries are actually asexual.
Mhm.
Um,
So there you go. That's the
and
whole 100 and whatever percent. That's all of
uh-huh.
us.
Well, that's like in the 80% of
Mhm.
LGBT individuals. But then like even as part of like the people that identify as straight, um, you also have like transgender individuals in there,
Mhm.
um, who may still be straight. So it's like
Yeah. It's queer
I
all the way
wouldn't say
down.
it's totally like inherently queer, but it is very heavily queer.
There's something funny about being like a little animal person too. I mean, like it's got queer vibes. We're still feeling it out.
I love this little army of me that you're putting up on the
Yeah,
screen.
sometimes I just get
Yeah.
distracted. My producer calls this finger painting mode, and it's
Yeah.
actually encouraged.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I said before, like this is a very chaotic show, and this is
No,
the
I
primary
love
reason why. I
it.
know, I love it too. It's why she's my girlfriend.
we're girlfriends. I'm. Oh man. Nah, sorry. I'm just having a little game moment. Who took over the show?
Yeah, filmed. So we're watching RATURDAY night, filmed in front of a live studio audience made up entirely of Apollo Ilios. So, Ratty.
We've minted 27 Apollo Ilioses onto the blockchain. They cannot be removed.
So, Ratty, you did mention that you wanted to talk about this earlier, but I think since we brought it up a couple times,
Yeah,
beating
you
around the
take
bush, I
over.
wanted to bring it up.
Wait,
I
no, I
wanted
don't
to
have to
bring it
pick.
up now. So Peter Coffin made a very interesting tweet, and I'll quote him. He says, "A lot of people are mad that anyone would dare criticize wearing a fursuit to support the Furbucks Union, the Starbucks Union. But I would be just as mad if somebody showed up dressed like a Ghostbuster or something. It's unserious and rooted in consumption and fandom." So the first thing about that, we've already acknowledged that the whole unseriousness thing prevents the movement from being corrupted and co-opted by other people who aren't acting in good faith for the movement. And second, that actually happens a lot of the time. There's a lot of workers' strikes and movements that use cosplay as a method of furthering their message, because a lot of the times you will see people who are in cosplay, they have like some kind of wordplay or something to grab attention from the media, because as we all know, the media really loves fucking wordplay. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about in this tweet, because Peter Coffin is an idiot and everything else he said is stupid, rooted in consumption, that is by far the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard Peter Coffin say, and he said a lot of ridiculous shit. But I wanted to get your opinion, Apollo. Like, what do you feel about this perception that furry and the furry community is rooted in consumption?
Well, it's straight up just like ridiculous, because it's just not true. I mean, I saw somebody say that like the furry fandom is like one of the most just like socialist fandoms by far, because it's like everything is made by artists like in the fandom. So it's just like this culture and community of people exchanging their own work.
I think that might have been me.
It might have been you.
Because I did quote retweet that tweet, and I did say, like, how is this fandom rooted in consumption when the primary mode of consumption is independent artists being paid by independent clients to do independent work completely free of corporate entities?
Yeah, exactly.
Just for fun. Just for fun.
And it's like, you don't see like any big corporate asshats like promoting like furry merch or anything like that.
Well, not recently, but there have been times, at least not in North America, but in other countries. I do remember that Converse did promote their shoes on a poster advertisement that was in a storefront that featured furries and fursuits.
Hoot, can I ask you to find me a image? Do you remember those designer fursuits?
Oh my
hate that phrase.
Oh my god.
I hate that phrase.
Do you remember these?
Let me see.
They had like the gold mark on their cheek. That was the whole.
Let me try and
So we're gonna
find it.
I want to also ask chat for questions. Chat, if you have any questions, please drop them now. I will take a look and make a list. There was one thing I wanted to ask, but it's kind of like weird and fetishy. So if that's not chill, then just let me know.
I don't care.
Okay, sick. How do you feel about I gotta figure out how to phrase this. Do you remember the fucking like barista furry breast milk meme?
Yes.
Okay, how much of like how accurate is that to real life? Let's talk about this. Let's not. That's such a crazy way to ollie off that question.
Okay, I found it.
How accurate is it?
I found it.
Who just found the designer fursuit and decided to cover up our poor guest?
Sorry. Okay, so here's the thing about it, right? First of all, this sucks.
This sucks. This looks like a Halloween Town mask. This is like this is an upscale production of The Lion King. Like, I'm not into it.
The second, I'm going to zoom in on this. This is the sigil that you mentioned, the watermark, if you so deem it just to call it that. This is what it looks like. It looks almost like a rune or something like that. And in my opinion...
It looks a little fashy.
It does,
It
but
does
also...
look a little fashy.
But also it intrudes on the design of the fursuit, and it really shows that whoever's idea this is, they're still doing work, by the way, but whoever's idea this was doesn't really understand the purpose of a fursuit. It's not to get a fursuit designed by somebody who is popular in the fandom and then be like, ooh, I have a fursuit made by... It's about the client. It's about the person buying the fursuit, getting the fursuit done. It's about them and... embodying an identity that's truly their own. Oh no, I have some unfortunate news. I just found that they've done a Borzoi.
Oh dear.
That has to. I think I'm frozen on the stream.
Yeah, it's okay. I got you back. Perfect timing. You know, it's a little scuffed. This is public radio, baby.
Yeah, public access television.
Public access
this is what it
television,
is.
baby.
Look at this.
We're pitching this to Adult Swim next fall.
No.
You need Ratty,
no.
you need to show Foos.
Oh no.
Oh, Foos has seen it? I send Foos it sometimes just to bother. When I'm like in the mood to make Foos upset, I'm like, look at this ugly dog again. And they're like, stop! I don't want to see it. And then
Yeah.
Damn. Hey.
Like that is like but like to the point though, like that is like the best that furries and fursuits had been co-opted by some kind of corporate entity. Granted that as Zweitisich or whatever they call themselves isn't really a corporate entity, but they're trying to be. And it's really blatantly obvious to us as furries because we can see what their strategy is, and we can immediately be like, fuck no, this is bad, not only because your work is bad, but also because your mentality going into it is bad. And I feel like that mentality that they have is that capitalist sort of here for profit, not for the client kind of mindset. And I feel like, looping it back to the Peter Coffin tweet, I feel like Peter is almost running off of this idea that fursuit creators are very much like this one thing, as opposed to like independent artists who are literally being like, this is like their full-time job, or even for some people who it's their part-time. It's still like money that they are getting directly.
I don't think he understands that these are also workers.
Yeah. Yeah,
They typically have like other jobs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Plus, there's also the fact that these artists are getting paid artist salaries and wages for their work, you know? Like here, like I in order to get the you know, virtual augmentations, like the 3D geometry, so I could be represented in Ratty's mind properly, I had to pay somewhere upwards of like $400 American, and I'm Canadian, so it was very expensive for me, but it was worth it. First of all, because I had the money for it, but second of all, because I'm paying an artist to do art, and it's a luxury, you know? So I'm going to pay them the proper amount that they are owed.
Yeah. And I kind of see something similar on Steam, especially recently, for whatever reason.
Steam is in the video game platform, or Steam STEM?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
For like every once in a while, I like check the store, and let's see, here it is again. I will scroll down to new and trending, and there is always some really, really trashy, garbage-looking furry porn game, like at the top of it. And I was like, even now, there's one here called Nazi Furry.
Oh, fun.
Oh, no.
And when I tell you this shit looks ugly as hell, I mean, it looks ugly as hell. And it's like, this is obviously some fucking person, some people outside the fandom trying to profit off of the fandom, because the art is so ugly, and it's just, first of all, every single one of them is also like entirely straight, which is, as we just talked about, the vast majority of the fandom is queer.
So it's not only that like they're coming into a community they know nothing about to try and profit off of it, but they know so little that they don't even know the demographics they're trying to sell to.
Exactly.
It's silly.
I can't. express enough just how ugly it is.
Mhm.
Like, it's so bad, and it's just like so obviously like if a furry actually designed this game, it wouldn't look as bad as it does.
Mhm. Furries are usually better than that.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, here's hoping, right? God, I hope we're better than
Wow.
that.
Okay, so I tried to find this on my
think I
web
wanna-
browser through the Steam thing, and I noticed that it will not allow me to view the content unless I'm logged in. So I'll try and find it on my Steam app.
All right, grab that. We will not.
I really hope it.
Hey, babe.
I just.
yeah,
yes.
don't put a. I'm not. I'm gonna turn off your screen if you put a swastika on my screen.
No, I totally understand.
I mean,
I totally understand.
swastika that you're gonna have to worry about.
Keep in
there's-
mind.
There's
oh my
holes
God,
too.
there is homosexual, or not homosexual, but there is straight up explicit. That's what I meant to say. Explicit content on here.
Oh
Alright.
yeah, no.
That's
Just-
well, that's trashy.
Oh,
we wanna-
okay. So, by the way, there's no swastikas. There is just the furry rated red band on them.
Okay. Here's the
But
thing.
I'm still not gonna show it because it's just
I think-
actually like.
Yeah.
Nah, Apollo was telling the truth. It's fucking ugly.
It's so awful.
I'll have to
It's
take it.
so awful.
Everyone, go seek that. Put that in your search history for me.
No.
I'm mad that it's in my search history.
All right. I think we're gonna pivot to chat questions real quick.
Sounds good.
So, Murphy Mouse says, long-time watcher, first-time caller. Was wondering what the benefits to using your persona publicly as a part of this organizing, what the drawbacks and what the benefits are of organizing publicly as Apollo.
I mean, I wasn't really in it for like any sort of benefits.
Mhm.
So
Well, they
like
don't necessarily.
personally,
They don't necessarily have to be benefits that directly benefit you as much as just benefiting the cause that you're working
Uh-huh.
for. Yeah.
so I mean, I've talked about it, you know, several times, but I mean,
Mhm.
The starting reason why I wore Apollo in the first place was to garner attention for like the movement.
Mhm.
Because, you know, if I am literally the only person there wearing a fursuit, people are gonna look, obviously. They're gonna
Right,
be like,
yeah.
what the fuck is going on? So it turns heads and it gets people talking about the movement. And that was like my main goal. But also like I've said that I think it's really important for a movement like this to, you know, not only stand united, but do so while expressing the diversity of the people that it's impacting. Because the working class is so vast, obviously, like there's going to be a lot of different like types of people in it. And I think that if we can really stand united while accepting those differences, it's going to make the movement stronger than it was before.
100%. That's so fucking cool. That really is like excellent. It just is. It's just smart. It's just smart. It's just fucking cool. Like, I just got to give you a thumbs up for that one.
Well, thank you.
Baff in the chat wants to know how you take your coffee.
Well, I actually don't drink it. Surprisingly enough.
All right,
I
so
actually
what tea?
I mentioned it on Twitter the other day. Let me pull up the tweet really quick. I said, damn it, where is it? Okay, yeah. You know, it's really funny I ended up as a Starbucks barista because I don't like coffee and I can't do caffeine. Because I have ADHD, caffeine makes me sleepy. And that's absolutely true. If I drink caffeine or just like coffee in general, I will get very tired.
Mhm.
And it kind of sucks, but at the same time, I've never really been a fan of the taste of coffee, so
Mhm.
never really affected me all that much.
What's your go-to drink then?
Um, at Starbucks, it's typically a black tea lemonade.
Oh.
Because I just love it the way it tastes, and it doesn't have too much caffeine in it. And I also am just like a slut for lemonade. I just love lemonade.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Um,
Can't go wrong with lemonade. I gotta say that much. It's
I mean, I used to drink way too much fucking soda for sure. And since I have since tried to get myself off of it because I was just drinking way too much of it. And so I switched over to like sparkling waters. Which actually really grew on me, and I like genuinely enjoy them. So that's nice too.
Hell yeah. I had a tea the other day that was, I just found all of the citrus teas in my tea box, and I was like, I'll put them all together, make a little brew. A little witch's potion. It tasted like tasted like apple cider, which I think shows how versatile like a nice brewed like orange or lemon tea is.
Yeah.
It just is. Sorry, go ahead.
Real quick, I just wanted to respond to Foolish Vera in the chat here. They said I have ADHD. This is the first I've heard about that. I think it's not the same for everybody, and it really depends on the severity of like your case. Because I know some people with ADHD who drink caffeine and they're fine, or it affects them normally. But if you have ADHD, they will often prescribe you like stimulants to, kind of counteract it and help you focus, which is what like Adderall is.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people with that ADHD take Adderall, is because it's a little bit stimmy.
Yeah, it calms you down and helps you focus. And caffeine is also a stimulant. So, for some people, it it functions like normal, and it can help keep you up or whatever. But for people like me, if I drink too much caffeine, I just get really exhausted and tired.
Yeah, it's almost like oh god, there's a terminology for it in coding and like programming where it's almost like a bit overflow or a byte overflow or something like that, or integer overflow or something like that, where you know that whole myth about how Gandhi will turn absolutely nuclear because his peaceful, like his
we're talking about Civilization,
coding.
the video game.
Yeah, we're talking about Civ. His peacefulness value in the coding in the back end. I got this.
You got this?
But yes, I got this.
You got this.
The peacefulness value will be so high that if it goes any higher during gameplay, it'll go beyond the limit of that integer, of that value, and then loop straight back to zero.
Goes
so
right
instead
back
of
up
being
around.
like a peaceful individual, you'll just be like, okay, we're gonna throw nukes at every nation ever.
Oh my god.
So like I feel like it's a lot like that, where like at least for me personally with inattentive ADHD, some days if I drink caffeine I'll be fine. It acts like normal caffeine, and then others it's like that integer overflow.
All right, I got one more chat question here. What, in your opinion, are the biggest material differences between union activism online and IRL? And how has your online presence been impacted by the recent media attention directed towards you? That was a very press conference question. I feel like I'm in the White House.
It's a good question, though.
It is. Well, activism online, unfortunately, I can say holds a lot of value. Because if you're just like posting about shit online, I hate to use the term, but you're basically just a keyboard warrior. You're saying things, not really doing anything. And the reality of it is that direct action will always speak louder than anything you could say or post anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's like the big difference. It's like online you can like get people talking about it and everything, but none of that is really going to matter if nobody goes out and does anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then no, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to respond to the second part of the question.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. My online presence, well, it kind of is my online presence right now because I didn't have an online presence before. I mean, like, I had a Facebook and I've had, a bunch of friends and everything on Facebook. I rarely used Twitter. I wouldn't call myself the best at social networking.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't have a presence before any of this.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of is my presence.
Yeah, I think like it's really fascinating to. I mean, this is sort of the end goal of union politics. We talked about this a little bit with the charities at the top, with about how these tenant unions are advocating for. Sorry, my a bag of sour gummy worms just dropped out of the sky.
Love sour gummy worms.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I sometimes your friends go to the convenience store and then they drop food on you while you're in cyberspace, and it's great. It's fantastic. Although now I have to lie here, again catatonic with this heavy bag of gummy worms because I like the big bag of gummy worms, dog. So, but I think it's fantastic that like. This is the end goal of union politics: is having this community, having these people who can advocate for you, and in exchange you just advocate back. We were talking about with the tenants unions, they're doing they're not called sit-ins. What are they called? But like these occupations of like empty units in these historically like bad to live in buildings. They're like doing these protests. They're organizing for like members of the community, trans members of the community, that and like I think it's really fantastic that like part of what comes out of this, and you've had a long day, you've been on 2 shows today, so I will let you go soon.
No, that's not it at all.
But yeah, I think it's this is it. Like it's good. It's kind of magical to have a community out of this. You were talking before about how like how like you ended up getting ghosted at cons a bunch, and I think this is the part of union organizing that I think a lot of theory misses, is like there are these fake bosses who will walk in and be like, we're all a family, but at the end of the day, like if you don't force it, you get kind of close, or at least you find someone who can be like that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I think we're out of chat questions.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, there was just a video that came out earlier that I like pre-recorded some like answers to. So I wasn't like on any shows earlier.
Oh, okay, I see. All right, cool. I didn't want to like taint my own reporting, so I haven't read or watched anything ever.
No, I totally get it.
But yeah, thank you for coming out. I think this is one of our good ones. This is the one that's going on the report. It's like, wow, we did something. Thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
Do you have anything you want to plug before you go?
Well, my Twitter is, Apollo_Ilios.
You can grab a link for that real quick.
I believe my Twitch is the same thing. And then I think you already posted, you already posted Raxel's Twitter as well. So no, I think that's it.
Hell yeah, we did it. Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. All right. I gotta find a mute def button real quick.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so here's the thing. You thought the show was over. It's not. First of all, that was so fucking cool, y'all. That's what this is. This has been a good ep. This has been a real good ep, I gotta say. But yeah, don't go away. We have another guest after the break. Yeah. Just a really fucking cool episode, a really good fucking episode. And we have another guest coming right up after this break. Don't go away.
For many years, the woman who did my taxes was a woman named Sick Jan. Now I call her Sick Jan because she was always had a minor cold, but she was always like super amped about having a minor cold, always coughing and sneezing. But there was something very very exclamatory, and she was very overdramatic. Whenever I would walk in, like with my forms, she'd groan and like put her head down on her desk for like a long time. And there's really no other way to explain this other than through this soon-to-be Top 40's hit song. When I first met Jan, I thought she was a regular desert woman, gray buzz cut, enough turquoise to get into Stevie Nicks' house. What I didn't know was Sick Jan was an absolute nihilist who was willing to risk it all for me. She looks at my forms, puts her head on her desk for an unreal amount of time. I could go to literally anyone else. There's several other tax preparers. This is too much. It's okay. Ron gets the best Yelp reviews of anyone here, but between you and me, he's a bit of a priz. Not really between you and me, because Ron's 6 inches away and you're screaming in an otherwise silent office. It's not looking good, Christopher. Do you work from home? Yes. Is the sole purpose of that room for your office? No, we eat there too. So for you, I'm gonna claim a home office. Okay, great. What we're doing here today, we could both go to jail for a long time. Wait, what? Sick Jan, we don't have to claim a home office. If it means we'll both go to jail. Christopher, I'll do it for you. What? No. Why? I'm happy to do this. If the IRS come in though and they see you doing anything but work, we will both go to prison. Sick Jan, we don't have to claim a home office. If it means we'll both go to jail for a long time. How many Jason Statham movies are you watching? Sick Jan. Every single year I'd go back to H&R Block and I'd demand to work with Sick Jan, and she was always available because I don't think anyone wanted to work with her because she was obsessed with the idea of going to jail. Or maybe no one wanted to deal with her celebratory sneezes and coughs. Each cough was a celebration and each sneeze was a gunshot. The next year I go back to that H&R Block. I walk in with my forms held high. Sick Jan puts her head on her desk for an amount of time that would make me uncomfortable if I weren't used to her strange bullshit. Okay, here we go again. You want to do the home office? I mean, not if it's an issue. No, it's not an issue. It's not an issue. I just want you to know, Christopher, if the IRS come to your house and see that you have more than one use for your home office, then you and I will lose our freedom. Right, then that's not you and I will be caked in subpoenas. We're going to the big house. Uncle Sam's naughty bar. I'll do it though. Do it for you. We don't have to claim a home office. I don't mind. If it means we'll both go to jail. I just want you to know that you and I are both booking tickets to Whitey Bulger's final Airbnb. Sick Jan. shish kebab that I'm also on, and take us both to the People's Pound. When they drive your Corolla that they reclaim to your house and see you not working in your office, just staring out the window like Carole King, then you and I will go to can't order pizza anymore. Sick Jan, of course, either was fired or quit from H&R Block. Last time I saw her was in line at the 2016 election, and she pretended to not know me. But when we locked eyes, she had that look in her eye, that crazy, sick Jan look. It said to me, I'm old enough to know that not all dreams come true. You and I never made it to jail, Chris. And it's hard for me to face the embers of that dream here in line to vote. But what if, Christopher, it's not too late? Let's take out our cell phones in the voting booth. We can still do our time. Sick Jan, sick Jan. Sick Jan, sick Jan. Sick Jan, sick Jan.
Do you work from home? Yeah. How's it look?
Good.
Ever know a guy for a while, one-on-one, and you're like, wow, why can't I make things work with this guy socially? What's wrong with me? You're dripping with sweat, and you feel so inept. It really sucks. You start second-guessing yourself. You just can't find the groove with him. You scrounge around to fill his long pauses. You're working hard, getting nowhere like a spider in a toilet bowl. But then something magical happens. You see someone else interacting with him, and they're struggling the same way that you were. Then you realize he's the problem, not you. He's just a wildly unlikable guy. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. He's just a wildly unlikable guy. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Oh, everyone's soul leaves their body when they talk to this guy. So I won't feel guilty when my body remains, but my soul's on the beach like Andy Dufresne. After I make a joke, he doesn't laugh, but he says, there's actually some truth in it. Don't blame yourself for feeling like you just ran a 5K. After trying to make it work with this, fair enough, because that person talking to now is also in a deep screeching hell. It's like a pizza crunch that came alive, and then it replicated. You ask him questions you know the answers to.
Were fairy tales originally darker than the versions that we know today?
Just to keep the ball in the air. Yes, and Hans Christian. Sometime in '99, family dinner time. Me, my sister, mom, and dad. Phone rings. It's my soccer coach.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Jim. Chris won't be having any practice on Tuesday.
No practice Tuesday, Chris. Okay, I could hear him through the phone, but thanks.
Okay, Jim. Okay. Sounds good. All right, take care. Okay, love you, bye.
Joe, do you know what you said?
I said bye, Jim.
No, Joe, you said bye.
What? No, you didn't.
Jesus, Mary.
Jesus, Joe!
There is no joy like that of an 11-year-old boy hearing his strange dad accidentally telling even straighter that he loves him. And climb the six in California, where such an exchange might be ordinary between two hetero men after say particularly good hot yoga class. This is Massachusetts, where a man can be hanged for wearing orange. Sit down and stop pacing around. It's not that big of a deal.
It's a big deal, Nancy.
I just told my son soccer coach that I I just squeaked out an erotic nighttime whisper to my son's soccer coach. Take care of it how? Send him Russell Stovers? I need to go into the woods or something.
No, you don't, Joe.
My dad is now occupying a level of hell that few people will ever know. And I think his dreams went something like this. Tim, is that you? Tim, is that you? Tim, let me explain. I didn't mean what I said. You know, it's just one of those habits. You know how it goes. Us guys. Okay, I gotta go. I love her back. Oh my God, why did I say it again?
I'm so nervous. I can't go through with any of this. I can't even walk out there. I know I'm not even gonna walk out. You can tell them to put the microphone away and put the chairs away.
Come on.
You can tell them that they can put a close sign on the theater. I'm not gonna do it. I'm too afraid to do this. I'm sick as a dog. I'm too tall. And I'm tired.
Not happy to do this.
I don't want to be here. I want to go on Venmo and check out what everyone's been up to. I want to go on my Venmo newsfeed. I'm not going to stay and do this. Facebook Live can just bite my ass for all I care. Facebook Live can bite my ass.
Hello, Chicago. Thank you so much for coming. Hi. Well, no, you don't. Okay. It's really nice to be in Chicago. I was just in the South yesterday, and people have a hard time with this in the South. It's, when this walks into the gas station, it gets a load. I noticed, though, there's a big, even in rural Illinois, there's a big difference, though, between this and this. This gets, how you doing, buddy? Okay, good to see you, buddy. I'm not thrilled about what's happening, but you're on the right track, okay? This is a Cocker Spaniel who's bi at best. This, okay, he hunts, poorly, but he hunts. I walked out in this blazer in Orlando, and a girl, the distinct voice of an 11-year-old girl says, "I have that blazer!" I thought this was a glamorous look, and then I caught a glimpse of myself in a Hyundai rear view. And I just look like an old woman who's about to take over Tampa. Just, here comes Ruthie. I've already broken I took back when I started doing stand-up comedy in like the 1960s. I took this course in Boston with this guy named Eddie. I've already broken Eddie's big rule, which was if you don't take he was like 5'1" and just like always slamming O'Doul's, just non-alcoholic beer. And he said, if you don't take the mic.
Apologize for what just happened. I did accidentally leave y'all with... Get this shit off the screen. What's going on? Okay, there we go. I did just leave y'all with just like some fucking stand-up comedy for several minutes there. So, you know, that was fun. Who enjoyed that? Who enjoyed someone else's work? If you did, you're a fucking stealer, and you're not allowed to do that. Don't be fucking taking shit. Listen. Raptor Hound Rune, thank you for coming out. Hold up. I just gotta do one little thing. I gotta go into studio mode. I gotta click on this. I gotta click on that. I gotta click on this. I gotta fucking do this. Do this. Press OK. Everybody just sit tight while I go a little bit crazy with this, with going to the moon. Fuck, holy shit. Yeah, so I definitely did have an entire other joint, which is not great. Monty, I can't seem to... Oh, wait, hold up. They can't hear me also. Whoops. Okay, hold on. Everyone calm down. Everyone calm... Okay, wait. Let's all take a Zen breath real quick. That was a really good interview. I'm very happy with that interview. I think Apollo's just such a fucking sweetheart. That it's like it's you know, I wouldn't say it's hard to believe he's real, but it is like fantastic that he is real. What a great dude. All right. Like, okay, how many more settings do I have to just gush about this guy through? All right. Hold up. We are coming in for a landing. Hello?
Hello?
Hello. We're I've sort of just jumped you in here. I'm sorry.
It is A-okay.
What's popping? Hold up. I have an intro to read, I think.
An intro?
I gotta, so first of all, Hoot, I love you so much with my whole heart.
Aw,
likewise.
Because I was like standing outside having my little marijuana cigarette, and I was just randomly like, oh, you know what I totally forgot to do is write an intro for you. So I texted Hoot and I'm like, I'm having a cigarette. Can you do this for me? Can you do my job for me? And she's like, yeah, of course, obviously. So let's read that intro right now. Moelle is an openly trans VTuber on Twitch. Recently got into VTuber streaming recently. Well, that's see me after class for that one. But has been on Twitch for 4 years. Being in the scene, she's noticed some things about queer representation within the community, which she is here to talk about today. Okay, so that is serviceable. You can find MontyMoelle on Twitch, fucking, you know, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Facebook and Tumblr, that is... These are all lies. I'm only on Twitch and Twitter.
Don't lend credence to lies, everybody. This is the thing. I'm a good journalist and I will not be fucking spreading misinformation. There is no Tumblr,
No.
there is no Facebook. Fuck you.
No. Fuck
There is
you.
no Facebook at all. Zuckerberg's platform doesn't exist. It's not real.
Not real.
Not real. Bad. Thumbs down.
Thumbs down emoji.
Welcome to the 2-minute hate. I'm your host, Rachel. Anyway, so yeah, we're here to talk about, you wanted to talk about, like, and I think this is so cool because all the time I'm like fucking scrabbling around the internet. Does anyone want to talk about how fucked up it is that V-Shoujo exists? Does anyone want to talk about fucking the obvious fucking... Anyway. But, watching without video, that's so interesting. I've never seen, sorry, I got distracted. But yeah.
Whoa.
That's so cool.
Yeah, there's a little icon there. That's interesting.
I have no idea why that's there. But yeah.
It's there because there's people like me who sometimes just like want to put my phone in my pocket and I want to listen to just the audio.
Oh, that's one of the, that's a special, that's one of those special features.
It's a special tool.
Feature.
It's a special tool that'll help us later.
I want to, okay. I do want to go with you to this place where we talk about trans representation, but I'm thinking about right now, I do have my first question that pops into my head is, do you have any favorite DVD special features?
DVD special features?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a motorcycle.
Oh my god. Off the top of my head, I love like those old like animated movies that have like fucked up weird games in the
Hell
menus
yeah.
that you
Fuck
can
yeah.
play.
In
In particular, the the old ass like early 2000s Bionicle animated movie has a whole bunch of really weird games and like lore explanations of things in the like DVD special menu, and like I want streaming services to have that. Netflix,
Yeah,
come on.
Netflix.
Hang on, I gotta say, I am absolutely pleased that we have the mythical Bionicle trans online right now. That's amazing.
I'm here. I'm real.
Hell yeah. That's. I remember. You'll remember these ones as well that were in Hot Wheels Acceleracers, where like it would play a race from the movie, and then at a certain point, like a green arrow would pop up, and you had to like press left on your controller. And if you didn't, it did like a stock animation of a crash. It was like, no, dude, I fucking, and you know, and then the menu pops up and it says, you crashed. Name of the Hot Wheels car. You crashed. Spine bender. Retry. Do you remember these?
Yeah, I do. And as awesome as those were, it was always frustrating to me that those QTE events were always like really difficult. Like it was clunky because DVD players weren't meant to do that.
No.
But my personal favorite special feature is, again, on animated shows, but it's when they animated bloopers into it. That's my favorite shit.
Yeah.
More of that.
Yeah.
I think we as VTubers should start doing that.
Yeah,
absolutely. God.
Oh my god. We could do like this. We could, instead of having like the zine community, it's just like this indie DVD community where you have a bunch of VTubers doing collabs, and then you have the special features. So good.
Oh,
dude, we should start.
Like literally a genius.
Thank you. I'm told this multiple times.
The thing is I think the crazy thing is I think people would go for it too.
Yeah.
Oh.
100%.
Let's make a DVD. Let's make a movie.
Oh yeah.
Let's make a Doug Walker ass movie.
Oh yes.
Markiplier gets to go
video game nerd movie.
Exactly.
Yes.
Fuck yes. I have some experience in this field. When I was 13 years old, I went to a camp called Make a Movie Camp, and we made a movie called Nerd Squad or something. That's if anything's ever gonna dox me, it's gonna be that I just admitted to making the hit film Nerd Squad.
God damn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm hot shit. We're talking over you so much.
Shit. We are all hot shit in this chat right now.
Woo!
Everyone in this chat is hot shit. Chat.
But I do. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I do have a question though, Moelle.
Yes.
I'm noticing the goggles. Are those welding goggles? Like, what's the spiel?
They kind of are welding goggles. If we want to avoid going into the lore of things, which I usually like to do, is avoid going into the lore. My character design is based off of the fucking little guys in Super Mario Bros. 3 that pop out of the manhole covers and throw wrenches at you.
Did you ever?
They're little moles.
Did you ever have that sort of gold disc, but as a hat? I think that would look good.
I have an actual like proper live 2D model in the works, and that's definitely a thing I've thought about for sure.
God, that looks so cool. That would look cool.
It would.
I mean, let's go into the lore. Like, tell us about the lore.
Oh my god, the lore, the MontyMoelle lore.
Did you escape the mines? Clearly,
okay,
you wouldn't be here.
Okay, here we go. I gotta like crack my neck and like get into the nitty gritty here. Okay, so a lot of VTubers have this thing where like they have deep like backstories about their character, all that thing. I'm kind of in this kind of like newer group of VTubers that kind of do a guerrilla approach to lore, where like I will basically roll with whatever chat thinks my lore should be.
Okay, hell yeah. You're just rolling around like a Katamari ball.
Yeah, exactly. As of right now, all we know is that I live on an airship, Mario 3 style.
Hell yeah.
I work for Bowser. I kind of just sort of play video games under his nose when I'm supposed to be, I don't know, killing the Mushroom Kingdom or some shit like that. And if you ever need me to get you in touch with Bowser for any reason whatsoever, I'm happy to do so.
I would love to talk to Bowser. Are you kidding me?
I do. I am wondering though, is Bowser a good boss?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
You know, Bowser gets a bad rap. I feel like he's like, I don't know, the whole kidnapping women thing gets a little blown out of proportion sometimes. Dude just likes to play golf and, you know, be gay.
Yeah. I think
Fair enough.
the kidnapping women thing is almost like a reflexive reaction to people thinking that he's gay. And it's like, man, it's 2022. Like, I know that...
Like, dude, it's okay. It's okay.
Bowser grew up in Reagan's America during the AIDS crisis, and I think,
Poor
like...
bastard. Poor bastard.
Exactly. Man, it is going to be hard to unlearn a lot of the fear that came from that. And so I understand sometimes you will kidnap a woman just to prove that you're not gay. I don't think you should do it, but I understand it.
I mean, like, I would prefer that he didn't.
Yeah.
But you know what? We all have internalized phobias of ourselves.
Exactly.
Some more extreme than others, and I think Bowser just needs to really, you know, take a deeper look inside, and you know, be a bit more okay with that.
Yeah, he really needs to unlearn that compulsory heterosexuality.
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to come up with. Yeah. I mean, you know, good guy. As a boss, good guy, or
He's okay. He has a bit of a temper.
You know,
he kind of has a control complex. Like, he kind of doesn't like it when he's not the one in charge of every aspect of it.
Oh, so
it's
he's
okay.
a micromanager. Oof.
Yeah,
Well,
a little bit down your neck. It's okay. There are rising Koopa union movements working to sort of come to some sort of
and this is the thing,
there.
right? Like, whenever he ends up at a party, it's like he just takes it over completely and like starts doling out stars to people, and it's like, dude, we're here to have a good time. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like he'll be the guy that, like, instead of playing Twister, he'll grab like the Twister spinner and spin it himself, and then get his thumb in the way accidentally, if you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He's
Or at least that's also just the air that I get from him. So I haven't met the guy. I don't know. I've heard things. That's all.
Yeah.
I do hate to derail the conversation away from Bowser for just a little bit, but there is another important aspect of the lore which I have yet to mention. That being that this sort of like humanoid kind of mole-themed girl thing that you're seeing on the screen right now does not. It's kind of not real. It's kind of fake. In reality, I am a small mole, small creature, small burrowing mammal on the floor.
I mean, who's to say what is or is not real? Maybe none of this is real.
Hang on, I do have to. Well, find a picture. Give me a second. Do you mind?
Not at all.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna find a picture of, you know, yeah, this is perfect. Actually, this one's transparent. That's funny. I wonder why. Here we go. Let's get Can we get a transparent PNG of a mole, please?
Yes, absolutely.
Zoom in on that mole.
Zoom in on that mole. Hold on.
Not on my mole. It's on the back of my neck, and it's gross.
I have 2 on my neck, and it's fine. Actually, I feel great about it. This is a mole.
Wow.
The mole.
We have a mole.
There I am.
That's what this is. File photo. File photo. I don't know. I'm just like, I actually have never. So the big orange dots, is that your eyes?
That's the big orange dots are just different colorations of fur. My eyes are so fucking tiny.
Jesus.
So small, literally useless.
Literally small, useless eyes.
These goggles are here for a reason. That's all I have to say.
I used to
Oh
get
my
like that
god, I am getting very interesting visualizations of you taking off those goggles and the eyes are like the absolute puniest little things on your face.
too. Kind of like how Millhouse looks without his glasses. You know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Everyone loves Millhouse. I think Millhouse is unfairly maligned. Anyway, we're not going to get into that again. So, you wanted to come on and talk about like how, as much of the VTuber community is queer, there's not a lot of queer representation in like, and in fact, I think a lot of the time it's sort of rejected in sort of mainstream agencies was the word I was looking for. Where do we want to start with that?
So, I'll give some background on myself and my own relationship with my own queerness for a little bit. So I have only been out as trans on the internet for the past maybe 8 or 9 months. So this is very new for me. And as mentioned in the little introduction, that was very beautifully written.
Thank you.
I've been a streamer on Twitch for like 4 years. The vast majority of that was me as a faced streamer appearing as a cis man. So as I started sort of socially transitioning amongst my friends, I was sort of thinking of ways that I could still do this Twitch streaming thing without having to be I don't know, while still being able to manage my own discomfort about my own like actual physical appearance and such. And VTubing is a fantastic outlet for that for me. And I have to thank my lovely, lovely friend Rocco Farend for getting me into the scene to begin with. I hardly knew anything about VTubing apart from the big like agency like VShojo, Nijisanji, all these guys, fucking Hololive. Didn't know much beyond that. Only to discover through this friend Rocco Farend that there's a large and thriving indie VTuber scene that has sort of exploded over the past couple of years. And so finding my own little niche in this community has been really helpful for me to deal with my own queerness. It's been an outlet for me because I still don't feel comfortable being like openly queer in public yet. That's still a ways away from me. I'm close. I'm getting there, but I'm still like working through those insecurities.
You sort of come. It's a very safe. I hate to say safe space, but it is a safe space, sort of, to be like, hey, what if this happened? And everyone's like, yeah, of course, go be trans. Go grow up.
Yeah. And it's kind of a really awful time to be trans right now in the United States in particular, which is where I live. And so finding this outlet where I can sort of be who I want to be online while still pursuing my passion of content creation, it's been fantastic. I absolutely love the people that I've fallen in with. Here's the problem that I see as sort of extant in this whole community. The VTuber community wasn't like its origins in like Japanese idol culture in particular. Didn't really originally include space for queer voices. And the further you climb up the VTuber ladder, the fewer and fewer queer people you actually see. Despite the fact that there's actually been like surveys and censuses done amongst the VTuber community that have gotten like thousands of responses. Where, in fact, I actually have a little image. If I can post this somewhere,
toss us an image. Put it wherever. Put it somewhere I can see it.
Here, I'll put this in the front. I'll put this in the front room.
Okay, perfect.
And then I'll throw it on screen here.
I can get it. You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is from the English VTuber census from 2021. There were, I want to say, 600-ish responses to this. Another survey has been performed since then, and I think results are still being collected. I can provide links to this. In fact, Here is
Dude,
the...
I'm having problems. Can you do it? I'm sorry I took it out of your hands.
Yes, I have it.
Okay, thank you. She knows because I get in host mode and I'm like, I have to.
So yeah, so this is a little this is just one infographic. They asked a million questions, and this was one of them. Are you part of the LGBT community? And like 67% of the respondents, out of like nearly 600 respondents, said yes. Only a quarter of them said no. And I can only imagine that this number is growing in recent years. And so it's very strange to see this like obvious disconnect between the demographics of the community and the representation at the very, very top. And I feel like now more than ever, it's important to actually get people to get eyes on like openly queer creators in this exploding subgenre of Twitch streamer that's honestly looking to be like the dominant dominant genre of streaming overall. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, like that is
Whoops, can't hear me.
honestly that is one of the most frustrating things about quote unquote Web 3.0 is that a lot of people hitch their wagons to this is the future of the internet. And it's very obvious that they have absolutely no idea where the future of the internet is going, because the net as it exists right now has a groundswell of independent artists doing their own thing without being beholden to corporate interests or moneyed interests in particular. And on top of this, a lot of people, like I said, hitch their wagon to Web 3.0 to the point where they're like, I've thrown so much of my savings into it that I have to basically be this NFT now. This is my identity. Whereas a lot of us queer people on the internet, particularly furries, have all been like, bro, I'm just a dumb fox or bird or animal in general.
You can just be a dumb little animal. And it's
can just be.
It's free.
Yeah.
It's easy. You can just be a dumb little animal online, and it's like, yes.
Yeah, just
Try
go
it today.
feral, dude. Just go feral.
Woo!
Well, don't go feral. Hey, let's have limits, please. Let's be civilized animal people, please. Jesus.
Civilized animal people.
Civilized animal people. But yeah, this is the thing I noticed is a lot of the VTubers, I think, especially English VTubers, at the very upper echelon are like still trading on queer culture in a way, but are not themselves queer. I think the fact that you don't know whether or not fucking Natasha Nyanners is a lesbian is part of the appeal. That's definitely what it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
listen.
I think that's a very good observation to make, is that they definitely like borrow elements from queer culture and use it to an extent to sell themselves, but will never be like overt about it. They'll never just go out and say it because like from a corporate point of view, that's like not profitable for them.
It's it goes back to idol culture in which like I think that like part of the appeal of idol culture is like, and this is a huge problem, but it's like the group of people who like part of their experience of that culture is like wanting to marry like a certain idol, or like, you know, thinking that like having this parasocial relationship.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You know. And that's very anti-queer, as I think is what I'm trying to say.
Would it also be accurate in saying that it's like outwardly like openly queer baiting what some of
100%.
these
This is
In many
mainstream
cases,
YouTubers are
yeah.
doing?
This is
In
John
many
Locke
cases.
Part 2, baby. Swear on my
Many
life.
such cases.
Many such cases. Yeah. So, okay. So this is the thing. I sort of have this sort of soft spot for, hey Hoot, I'm about to say something weird. Just hang out with it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Here we go. I have this. My soft spot for evil women extends to like.
To like
You know, extends a little too far, and I'm like, okay, but it is kind of cool. I don't know. How do you feel about evil women? Let's turn this into a question.
evil women.
be more specific. What do you mean? Like in terms of what?
What's the level of evil where you're like, I gotta separate myself from that?
All right, so like, are we talking about like the cartoony kind of evil where it's just kind of like, yeah, I like.
Well, because this
like,
is
my
the
whole
thing. You
lore
work
is
for
that
you work for Bowser, and so like.
This is true.
The fact
This is
that
true.
There's an inherent political statement in the fact that you do that, and so I'm trying to zero in on like what the level is for you, where you you will
okay, so
separate yourself from evil.
Okay, so what you're.
I see.
Okay, yeah.
What are the worst bad guys you would work for? Think about. Wait, no, this is a terrible question.
I don't know if I enjoy where this is going.
Listen, I just wanted to rope you into a job. I was gonna steal a big diamond.
Shit.
Yeah, so you know, whatever.
I love stealing big, giant, shiny objects.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I totally agree. It's just fun, you know. Would work for Gru. I think Gru.
I would totally work for Gru. Gru would work for me.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I
a
was
really
gonna
good.
say- I was gonna say, like, Gru would be somebody that you, like, he would work for you if you have any sense of competence about you, because I feel like Gru and his minions are kind of very chaotic, but also it's hard to not acknowledge the fact that Gru also has a very, very good working relationship with his minions.
This is
It
true.
seems.
This is true.
So, while as chaotic as it is, it feels a lot like both sides of the transaction, you know, the employer and the employees are on the same page and they want the best for each other.
Exactly.
So, like,
this is what we were talking about
just-
earlier with Apollo.
Yeah.
The minions are
It's just-
unionized. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
it's
didn't
just a
know that?
matter- I feel like it's just a matter of finding a very focused and determined individual to really focus them in on the evil that needs to be done. Yeah.
So yeah, in conclusion, there needs to be some evil done.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
We just gotta listen. We don't have to burn it all down, but some of it would be good. You know,
Fire is fun.
and this happens too. Like this is just nature, you know. We are the universe experiencing itself. I am, you know, a little jet that fire comes out of, and I will try to kill Mario, I guess. You know, I fucked that guy up. I don't know. If he sucked, I'd fuck that guy up.
I hold no allegiance to Mario. Fuck this guy. Fuck that guy.
All right. Fuck
Nope,
yeah.
not at all.
Yeah. 0%. Whoa.
Zero.
Hey. Wait. Hold on. Is our signal being hacked right now?
Is it? What?
Ooh, hello, yes, it's so good to see you again.
Oh no.
Oh shit, Mario. Fuck Mario. This every single time I go to record a fucking episode and we have to get the fucking CIA in here. I've got two
Sorry,
men and
that's hard for you, but easy for me. You know why?
why?
I ain't got nobody. Get it? Get it? No, nobody. No.
What was that? Oh my god, is Mario a ghost that's possessing you? Hold on.
No, I think what's happening here is Mario is actually a net runner.
Oh my god, Mario.
It's a little embarrassing.
This makes sense, because there are like FBI guys in my room sitting around with like wiretaps trying to figure out where Mario is, and I'm just chilling here. This is what this whole I am state affiliated media.
This is true.
My real name is Roger Waters. I live at 1227 Parksdale Road.
Whoa.
I am a CIA plant. Sorry. Like I just have to make that clear. And you know,
damn, I'm working with like a Fed. What the fuck?
On the topic of evil women.
yeah, exactly. This is what I was sort of like trying to gauge whether or not it was cool for me to come out as a fucking spy, as a mole even.
Wow.
Wait. Okay, hang on. If that's the case, then are you able to tell me how big my file is?
Yeah. Tell us about our files. Wait, no, me?
You!
Oh.
You're the Fed!
Yours is...
I work for a government, not your government.
Exactly. This is you'll remember the scene from The Simpsons where the Russian exchange student boy is sort of crossing paths with the American Russian exchange student boy, and they're both like the implication is that they're both spies. Anyway, these are two. These are two. I'm an American spy. Moelle is a Russian spy. Clearly.
Clearly, yeah.
And we're meeting in the middle. This is sort of our how do you do, kind of thing.
Yeah. What's going on?
That's what's happening. Sometimes you need to meet with the kingdom of fucking Bowser or whatever.
It's like counting to 3 with your fingers instead of using your thumb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
That was I'm sorry. That was an Inglourious Basterds reference. I'm pathetic.
Can I ask you real quick about a question I have about mainstream VTubers? I want your opinion.
Sure.
Do you know Apricot, I think is her name?
Apricot. That rings a bell.
She's like a demon vampire sort of thing. But she's like very British and likes tea. And
You know what? I don't know if I know her actually.
Okay.
Oh, doesn't she wear like the detective outfit kind of thing?
No.
Sherlock?
No.
No?
I'm going on this one, Apricot VTuber.
Oh.
All right, hold on.
I have to go on a limb right now and just say that I tended to avoid watching larger agency VTubers just because usually their content style doesn't really work with me.
Yeah, I think I don't know. They're
always chaotic. It's chaotic in the Compet way.
Here,
to be honest.
We're gonna put Apricot VTuber in the background while we talk, so that we can. Oh, man, I wish my mouse was working properly so I could make that face smaller. Oh well.
Wow.
Oh, I like the green and blue. I like the design.
Yeah, her design's cute.
That's the thing with mainstream VTubers is that their designs are always adorable, and then they're very obviously creating content for people who are not who are cishet, and I'm like, okay, this isn't for me.
This is the one that I think is most likely to be a federal agent.
Wow.
It's one of V Shoujo's second round picks maybe, and I don't know. This one just strikes me as put there by the CIA and YouTube to lead everybody in the wrong direction.
I'm really interested as to how we arrived at this conclusion.
Just listen. Listen.
I'm listening.
Have you seen The Batman?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how Riddler is has all these fans that would put on a cool mask and do killing for him.
I mean, that's nothing special. I've got fans that would do that for me.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're not funded by the CIA.
That's true.
You're not
That's true.
building a decentralized CIA death squad. You're just chilling.
Yeah,
This
I'm
one
just kind of hanging out.
is very British, very soft. It has like, this is gonna be gross, but like little sister vibes.
Whoa!
And so I feel 100%. I feel like some of these VShojo, especially some of these VShojo VTubers, will at one point be like, "Hello, friends, it's me. Let's go. Let's hit the Pentagon," and all the fans are just gonna go yes. Because they've been fucking subliminally coded by MK Ultra fucking Polybius
I
bullshit.
think that does sort of lead into like an interesting actual point about
for it.
A lot of these like larger VTubers is that it's a common trope just for like the VTuber character, and this plays into the fact this plays into why I don't do like super crazy extensive lore for my own character. Like when I turn on my stream, when I start doing the show, I am not really putting on much of a character. I'm being very genuine about myself and my interests and who I am to my audience. And there's varying degrees of how genuine will a content creator be with their audience when they're, making content. And in the VTuber community especially, there are so many people that get so deep into character that you have no idea who that person is, really. And that really contributes to the ever-prevalent and kind of like almost like inevitable like aspect of the VTuber community that is parasocial relationships. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
It's fucked up and bad. I hate idol culture.
Also, wow, I'm outside the window.
It looks like you're falling. Like, it looks like you just fell out of the helicopter in Sonic Adventure 2.
I'm falling. Get me out of here. What?
It's fucked up. It's just fucked up.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to RATURDAY night. Sometimes, this is the thing, is for like 9/10 of the show, we're just saying funny shit, and then we bump into something that's like, yeah, genuinely that sucks, and there's not a lot to say about it.
It's literally like just such a it's almost like the entire like VTuber business model is built on viewers establishing these really unhealthy relationships with the streamers.
100%.
And it's a reason why I'm really glad I've fallen into like the corner of the community that I've fallen into. Where it's like mostly people being extremely genuine to the camera, very accepting communities, very queer dominated communities, I should also add. I'm very, very thankful for that. But like I cannot go a single day without seeing some post on Twitter of some larger VTuber like mining for interactions on Twitter by like, I don't know, doing whatever silly trendy thing is happening right now. And sometimes at the expense of their queer community members. I made a post about this that did like kind of well a little while ago, where I was kind of complaining about the fact that a very common like Twitter interaction mining tactic in the VTuber community is to go like, where are all the male VTubers at? And like with the implication that you're supposed to like drop your PNGs and promote your shit in the replies. And like that's such a weird way to fucking word that. And I talked about it on in this Twitter thread. I was like, well, what a weird, like, sterile, dehumanizing way to split up the community by male or female. And that really communicates, like, very well, I think, how, like, disconnected certain corners of the VTuber community are from the queer part of their community. it's like weirdly disturbing. And I had a lot of people in the replies of that tweet agreeing with me that, like, yeah, I agree, this is a problem. But also a lot more either completely missing my point entirely or just like deliberately like disagreeing with me. Like someone, like I was trying to kind of make a point that, hey, not all guys consider themselves to be male. Like we don't have to use that label when we're talking about you know, trying to promote other VTubers in our community. And like somebody in the replies was like, wouldn't trans guys consider themselves to be males? And I'm like, what? No. Not all of them do. That's ridiculous. And so it's an issue that a lot of people know is there, but like there's almost no action being taken to combat this from anyone with any amount of influence in the community.
That's
That
a really
sucks.
interesting. That's a really interesting point to make as well. Given that, like, not only touching on the issue where a lot of the more mainstream VTuber community seems bent on accumulating clout through any means necessary, including making those really performative tweets, but also doing so in such a way that, on the face of it, if you don't think too hard about it, is probably in some cases helpful, with the initial viewing of it being, oh, well, they're just trying to promote other VTubers. That's normal.
Yeah.
But like the actual practice of it is that you're sowing this kind of division between VTubers, and it's really not the way to go about it. But to that end, what would you recommend as an alternative to doing that kind of thing to promote VTubers without having that combative attitude?
I
If
mean,
you don't mind me asking that question.
No, it's okay. I've actually put some thought into that too. And honestly, I feel like there are very few ways that will not also come off as somewhat predatory and like just clout chasing as well. The only ways, the way that I have started growing in this community, and I'm growing very fast, faster than I've ever grown in any other streaming community ever before. The way that I've found success isn't by doing like those kinds of things. Like the way I find community is by being active in other people's chats, being active in other people's Discord servers, like interacting with people's tweets, not to promote my own shit, but just to be friendly.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like you are very friendly just to like random ass people. Like every time I pop into your stream, you're like, yo, it's fucking Girl Beats here. It's so fucking cool. It's just, you know, it makes you feel good to like hear that from a streamer.
I appreciate that a lot.
It's a lot. It is at the end of the day about like community and shit. I don't know, I'm just saying shit.
Yeah.
I feel like doing that sort of thing, just like being there for each other, is what I want to encourage more people to be trying. Which is also difficult for a lot of YouTubers, and I'm sort of starting to understand why maybe these more like predatory clickbaity type, you know, interaction farm style tweets end up happening, is because kind of playing into what I started this whole conversation out with, which is, you know, this is an outlet for me to be on the internet because I am insecure about my like physical appearance and such like that. A lot of people in the VTuber community are deeply, deeply insecure about themselves. And so I know this to be a fact because I see it trending in VTuber tags all the time. People are very socially awkward in this community, and they find it difficult to reach out to people and to be friends with other people. And so I feel like rather than trying to like work towards, you know, maybe opening up a little bit, a lot of people are instead resorting to doing like more clickbaity type deals. And I have no evidence to support that's actually the reason why that happens, but it could be one explanation is what I'm offering right here.
I mean, like, coming from somebody who considered themselves, like for me personally, considered myself socially awkward. The thing that helped combat that a lot is just being social. Because over a period of time, like people say this all the time, where it's like if you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation enough, you get used to it. And in some cases, that's applied very toxically and very not healthy.
Yeah.
But for me,
I want to just quickly interject real quick and just to avoid being ableist, like that is just straight up a thing not many people, like some people can't do.
Yeah,
Like,
no, 100%.
They cannot expose themselves to that sort of environment without it harming them in some way. And
that is
in those
absolutely
cases,
yeah.
yeah. But go on,
Yeah.
please do continue.
And to that end, I do also get in those situations where I'll be in a conversation and it's not the conversation that's making me uncomfortable. It's just like I need to have alone time all of a sudden, and that's absolutely a thing that happens. And when that does happen, I'll be like, okay, I gotta pop out. I'll be watching like YouTube videos or whatever, so I'll see you later, kind of thing. But as far as your original statement goes towards like the hunch that social awkwardness is causing some of this, I feel as though there is some basis for it, because talking from personal experience, there are moments where I'm like socially awkward and like, it feels very uncomfortable for me to try and interact in a way that doesn't necessarily feel as much as just that isn't like reading from a script, because there will be times where I kind of end up in that sort of thing.
Sure.
But I feel like for a lot of people, when they are presented with the decision to either be active in the community and get to know other people, and just indirectly interacting by way of making like some kind of clout chasing tweet about it, they'll more often than not choose the tweet rather than taking an active role. And I can understand why. Like you said, there are some people who just can't do that, who can't put themselves in that active role, but also you kind of like if you're in the if you're into the industry, which is an industry now of content creation, you do have to be comfortable with social interaction, and you kind of do have to get involved in that sense. It's just a matter, I think it's just a matter of finding the people that you connect with, and to the point where it's effortless. And a lot of people probably find that quite hard, but they don't even try, let alone just, like, instead of just like putting themselves out there and trying to find the people.
I very much agree. I feel like one of the worst things you can do to like for your brand as a content creator is to be like openly self-deprecating and like say, oh, I struggle to meet people, like this is hard for me. Like, even if that's true, which it is for a lot of people, and that's okay, I feel like being a content creator, especially a VTuber, where there's so much prevalent like danger of falling into like unhealthy parasocial relationships with content creators and viewers, like you really do have to take an active role and be proactive and be like, hey, let's like be transparent about things, let's get to know each other, let's do these things. It's
Yeah,
100%. Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you want to see the future?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so on this show, we're a bunch of fucking dorks, but my girlfriend is really good at tarot card readings, so do you want to do that? We usually do one for chat, but we can do one for you too.
Okay. Sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Everyone in chat, first of all, we're going to go into an intermission in just a second here, so I'm going to do some housekeeping. One more time, chat. If you type charity in chat, just like that, you will find a list of tenants unions in Toronto that are currently fundraising. There are people doing sit-ins. There are, trans families that need help relocating. and this is local to me. This is very important to me. We had a storm today, and even though it wasn't super severe and nobody got hurt, there are going to be people that are mildly displaced by that. So definitely, what I would say is like, check those charities out. Check out union organizing in general. Like, check out tenants unions. If you feel like your landlord is taking advantage of you, look for a tenants union around you. Kind of group up, and if you can, support these so that like other people can also have that luxury. That's housekeeping point number 1. Housekeeping point number 2. I have to say this. RATURDAY Night is not affiliated with the charities listed. Any donations through RATURDAY Night's PayPal, Ko-fi, Streamlabs, etc. will go to support the show. Support them directly using the link that I posted there. I like to promote these charities, but I am also a starving artist, so like, you can donate to either of us, basically.
Or
donate
both.
to them first. Both is also allowed.
Both is cool.
Yeah.
Both is good.
Very last housekeeping before we go to intermission. If you want to participate in tonight's tarot reading, you can type in the chat !TAROT, and your vibes will be added to the tarot card vibe pool. We'll be doing a reading for you as much as it's for us. So please do that. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, cool. We are gonna BRB. One sec. Not clear, not clear, not clear, still not clear. Not clear. Not clear. Sorry, not clear. Not clear, not clear. Okay, what am I doing? Fuck. All right, clear in 3, 2, 1. I feel like I have to be like, and that was Evil Woman by Electric. Well, I fucked it up, so it doesn't matter anyway. No copyright intended. Thank you.
Actually, look.
Hey,
so
we're back.
I don't even mind. She got the look of it.
What happened?
Hi. We were just talking about me.
Oh, okay, cool. Check this out. Zoop. Welcome to the tarot stage.
Yeah.
This is where we figure out your fortunes.
All right, you'll have to throw me your production feed there, Ratty.
Oh, right. Blech. Here, let me just fucking throw it at you.
Yeah, just fucking throw it.
Just fucking chuck it, buddy.
Yeah, chalk it, bot.
Fucking seriously, just give her a fucking throw. All right.
Yeah.
I'm in a room with fucking Canadians. God.
Yes, you are.
Are you not Canadian? You have such vibes. What?
I'm from Southern California.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You have like Vancouver vibes, and Vancouver is like a bunch of people from Southern California who couldn't hack it.
It's just a lot more north, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
See,
right.
I'm from central Canada, the prairies. So if you get me talking about cars enough, you're gonna fucking hear it there, bud. You throw a turbo on there and she'll fucking go.
You can't tell that story 2 streams in a row. Please don't.
No, I won't. I know. I stopped there. Call back.
All right, cool. Call back for the fans. Watch closely.
Comedy.
Watch closely to see the results of this part of the ARG. So, okay, we're doing a tarot card reading. Do you want to? Can I try and give your spiel about how it's all fake and bullshit?
I already did.
Oh, you did?
But I can give it to the chat.
You have to give it to chat too.
Yeah, give it to chat. Give it to chat.
All right, so
chat it.
as a preface to these tarot card readings, I should remind everybody that these are ultimately reading playing cards. You are not beholden to these cards. Your fate is not sealed within the story that the cards tell you. Rather, tarot cards are very useful as a meditative device, especially if you find yourself trapped in a certain way of thinking and unable to break out of that box. In a manner of speaking, tarot cards allow you to think outside the box, but only if you let them. If you let them take control over you, you're not going to have a good time. And it's not because of the cards, it's because you took control over yourself because of the cards. In a negative manner.
Not fun.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a fun thing, but can also be very useful for some people out there. So and hopefully y'all threw some good vibes at the tarot cards while we were away during the intermission, because that also helps. All right, we're good to go.
Woo!
Are we asking a question, or are we like coming up with?
Well, yeah.
I think I kind of want to go with a more like general reading, because
Let's get a vibe. Let's get a vibe.
I did not like think hard enough about this.
That's
That's
okay.
fine. Like I said during the intermission, it's totally fine if we don't have a specific question to ask. Generalized readings can often bring up certain topics that we can then think about later, very easily. As we take a look at these cards shuffling around here,
Wow, huge.
Yeah.
large, scary McLarge, huge.
Not scary.
All right, so by the way, Hug Crabs, to answer your question, or I guess it's not a question. Thank you. This 3D model was done by Gray. They've switched their Twitter around a lot. I'm still trying to figure out where they are now, but very well done. And also the texture editing that I did. If you follow AEW Wrestling, then you know who I'm cosplaying as. All right, so
That's not something. This is a mistake that I made. I haven't been able to update it because I'm.
No, it's fine. It's a vibe.
It's a
It fits
vibe.
the vibe. It fits the vibe, because like even though Darby Allin isn't really directly involved with the
Oh, here
occult,
we
he
go.
looks like he would be. All right, so
Sorry.
let's get these. Yeah, so let's get these 3 cards down and
All right.
get this show.
Do you
on
want to
the
count
road.
down from 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Oops, I pressed the wrong buttons. Haha.
Nice.
I made them
No
go
worries.
away.
All right. So, taking a look, we'll be doing a reading for Moelle back here in the background there. But The first card that we see on the left side is Temperance. Temperance is a card that is most often depicted in this deck here, the Rider Waite tarot card deck, as an angel who is pouring water between cups. And to most people that would seem a bit useless. Why are you pouring water between the cup? The water's the same. It's not changing. But
Don't judge. That's still cool.
yeah, exactly. It's still cool because the fact is about Temperance is that it's not important what is being transferred between the cups in particular. What matters is something is being transferred between the cups, because Temperance is all about making taking yourself on a journey and ending up at a destination. What doesn't really matter is the contents of that journey. So, to bring this into perspective for you, Moelle, what this would mean for what I believe it would mean for you is you may be getting too tied up in the details. I don't know what it is specifically that it is that you're getting tied up in. Maybe the rest of the cards will reveal it to us. But in this specific instance, I believe there are some details of this journey that you are going on that you're just getting lost in the, you can't see the forest through the trees in this particular instance. And it's important to embody that energy of temperance, of getting one thing to another, putting the shit in one pile into another pile. With the center card of the Empress, we see royalty. We see a queen of sorts. But of course, you look behind her, and it's not a queen of a castle. It's not a queen of a kingdom. It's a queen of the forest. This is somebody who is in tune with nature, in tune with their natural way of thinking. And I believe in this instance that this card needs to be aspirational, as is Temperance. So you are finding yourself lost in the details, not able to get yourself from one point to another. And I think the way to embody both cards is to start thinking of the bigger picture and have determination about the choices you make and confidence about the choices you make. It's important. Like, it is good to second guess yourself sometimes. Being skeptical of your own choices is healthy, but sometimes it can put you in this like gridlock where you're not able to move forward with your decisions because you're second guessing yourself too much. So it's possible that you just need to make a decision and take it. And the Knight of Pentacles seems to confirm this. The Knight is somebody riding a black horse who is very the knight is wearing a nice, shiny suit of armor, holding a pentacle. The pentacles often being associated with social or material wealth. But in this case, I believe it's social wealth. So I believe this general reading is something about a friendship or relationship that you are having or that you are currently interacting with where you're getting lost in the details and you need to make a decision. Tying into the Empress, the Knight is also somebody who is confident about their decision and is moving forward with that pentacle in mind, keeping note of their decision and making sure they're staying on track. So ultimately, what these cards are trying to tell you is that you're getting lost in the thick of the weeds and you're missing a lot of key details to the interactions that you're having with a particular individual. And it may be best to, think of the bigger picture. But on top of this, don't second guess yourself to the point of just completely locking yourself out of making a decision. There are some times where we just need to make a decision because both decisions are going to be messy and maybe we don't like them, or maybe there's two decisions that we want to make, but we only are allowed to make one. So to that end, I think, you should certainly take the time to think about what you really feel about these decisions to make, but certainly don't get yourself locked into it. Make a confident decision and see it through to the end. Does that feel like it relates to you? Does it feel like it's fairly strongly describing an event you're currently experiencing?
Sure it does.
You don't have to go into.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
But that's sure. That's cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah, yeah.
Hell
just
yeah.
just make sure, like like I said, it's healthy to second guess yourself, but just don't put
shit.
gridlock into yourself by just like straight up like not being able to make a decision. You know?
Oh,
What a cool, uplifting reading. Wow.
Yeah.
hell
See,
yeah.
there's no harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
All right,
Exactly.
so
We doing
let's
chat
do.
now?
Yeah, let's do a chat reading.
Let's do
I
a
just
chat
need one
reading.
card for this though.
Okay, let's get rid of 2 of the cards. Wait, that's not correct.
Well,
Get rid. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna start that going again. Chat. If you wanna get your last minute participation points, now's the time to do it. Because not all of you are getting an A for participation this time.
Yeah,
but,
get your vibes in.
Get your
Gotta
vibes
get your
in.
vibes.
Get your vibes in. Get your vibes in. We need them.
exclamation point tarot in chat now.
Please.
Right now.
Charity
Do
in
it.
chat. RATURDAY in chat. Do whatever you want in chat. I don't care. Hey, listen. Oh, hey. No, nothing. Never mind. Thank you, everyone.
No, it's fine. All
right.
It would have been registered anyways.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Whoop, wrong button again.
All right. This will be an interesting one because I've not actually had to read this card in my life, and I've been doing tarot card readings for 3 years. But also,
Whoa.
I would say it's unfair to myself because whenever I do readings, I primarily like pick and choose what cards I throw into the deck. So it's often all the major arcana and a few select cards that I really enjoy from the minor arcana. So this is actually a full deck, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Reddy. This would be, I believe, the two of rods. The 2 of wands, yes. I thought it was a pentacle because he was holding a thing, and it was unclear to me what he was holding, but it looks like a globe.
Little globe.
So
Little globalist.
Globy globy.
Chat confirmed globalists.
The 2 of wands is about globalism and how it's corrupting the... Nah, but for real though, the 2 of wands the wands are a suit of a contemplation of thought, of meditation. So in this particular instance, this is something that we are thinking of actively or perhaps even subconsciously. Considering that he's holding a globe and he's looking over the castle walls, over to the horizon where we see water, we see mountains, we see the rest of the kingdom below, we feel as though we are thinking a lot about our place in life, or perhaps we're thinking about life as it is now, not just for us, but for people in general. And there are 2 wands here, so this is... what this would mean here is that there are 2 things we are primarily thinking of. So I feel it's both combined. We are thinking both about our place in the world and the world in general to try and determine where our place in this world is. So, this in mind, my advice to you, chat, would be this is a good thing to think about sometimes. You know, sometimes we just get lost, living life day to day and just kind of almost not necessarily dissociating, but just kind of like being in a fog. We're kind of going through the motions and it doesn't really feel like you're living, you're just kind of existing. And when you get in those moments, sometimes you'll wonder, like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Those are healthy moments. It's good to remind yourself why you're here. But it's important to remember that, ultimately the reason why you're here is self-determined. You have the power over this determination. This is a answer to a question. Like, the answer to this question is not going to be something that comes to you from outside. This is going to have to come from internal. So I think this is a healthy mindset to have, is to wonder, what is your place in life? What are you doing? And what is the world doing that you could change, improve upon, or perhaps contribute to? Considering the show that we've had today, I wouldn't be surprised about that because, direct action, unionizing, all that other stuff. Very, very, very good, very valuable. So perhaps that's what you're thinking of. Or maybe it's a bit more personal. Maybe you're feeling like, you're very listless, very purposeless. But it's always important to remember that you likely have friends to be close to. You have people that you really like, people you really appreciate spending time with. And, ultimately, for someone like me personally, I find myself like my purpose in life feels very much like I'm just kind of existing to be around people and make their lives better. And for some people, that's kind of sad because I don't have a job and I'm just kind of disabled and living barely. But the thing is, I get a lot of value out of that purpose of being here for people, making life better for others wherever I can, because even though I might not have the power to financially help people, I can still emotionally help them. I can still support them. I can still be there for them. So many of us will probably get wrapped up in capitalist ideology and be all like, well, I can't work and I can't do this or that to make money, so I'm useless. That's not true. You're capable of so much more, and you should really think on that. You should really think about what you are capable of, what you are doing now, and remember that you do have a place on this planet. You do have a place on this earth, and you should certainly continue to strive for the things that you strive for, whatever goals you set your mind to. Because at the end of the day, even when you don't feel like you have a purpose, you still do have a purpose. You still do have a reason to be here. And at the end of it all, when you've got nothing, you still got family, you still got friends, and those people can give you purpose. But it's important to remember, you give yourself that purpose as well. So if you're feeling down in the dumps and shit like that, or maybe someone else in your life is feeling down in the dumps, reach out and, be a friend. Be kind to people. Tell people you love them. Because I feel like in today's society, and this will be the final point that I make here, but I feel like in this society, it's very hard for people to want to say I love you to friends who are just friends, because it has this romantic connotation to it. But honestly, like, I've been saying I love you to my friends a lot more often, and it feels really good to hear it back. Like, even though at first it might feel a bit weird and superficial, it still feels good. And eventually it becomes second nature to just be like, hey dude, I love you. And it's like, yeah dude, I love you too. And it's just really good, It's a really good thing. Direct action. That's a very small direct action thing to do. Tell your friends you love them.
I've been saying this for 4 years now, is being nice and having fun are praxis. And
yes,
if you can do that, then you're doing praxis. Congratulations. Very
absolutely. 100%. So actually, as it turns out, this tarot card was actually about globalization, just not in the way that a lot of right-wing people seem to think.
Holy shit.
We're so
It's
smart.
just about the globe coming together and being nice to people. That's direct action. That's your praxis.
Hey, check this out. It's time for chat questions.
Chat questions.
Okay. All right. Chat questions. What's your favorite animal that is at least occasionally underground that isn't a mole?
I really love this question because the being a mole, like, I wasn't, when I was trying to figure out, okay, what VTuber am I going to be? What thing am I going to be that represents me? I wasn't always going to go with, like, the Mario MontyMoelle type thing. I've recently become, thanks to my wonderful friend Raptor Houndrun, who's in chat right now, become completely and utterly, like, infatuated with lizards.
Yo,
Lizards are fucking awesome, and there are in particular, I'm like trying to think. There's actual like mole lizards. Like
there are mole lizards.
There are mole lizards.
You're crazy.
And
This is insane.
They look like big long worms with little tiny arms, and they have stupid little useless eyes. Can we, if possible, can we get a picture of a mole lizard on?
Yes.
Who, can you throw up a mole lizard on
Mexican
the
mole lizard
Mexican
is what we're
mole
looking
lizard.
for. So this is a little lizard that digs around and exists, and
This
it's
is a-
so fucking cool.
Little lizard?
This is a lizard.
Let's get it on, little lizard.
Let's
That's a
get the
Gex
little
reference.
lizard on this. Are you putting the lizard on the screen or am I?
I don't have. I don't seem to have the image, so
well,
it might
you
have
can
to
go on Google.
Here, I got one. I got
Well,
one
I mean,
for you.
all I have to go on is mole lizard. That's not gonna get me. I'm not gonna find the result.
It looks like a
I will
little
say though-
wormy. Hold on.
I got you.
Okay. I will say
Got
though, I will say that. Oh my god, it looks like a little tiny snake.
They're so squeery. I love
A
them.
little man, a little guy.
Look, he's
little
long
thingy.
too. It's crazy.
Oh, it's got
Huh?
little armies.
He's long.
Yeah.
I don't think that's Twitch appropriate.
He doesn't have clothes on. Oh no.
He's naked.
No.
We have a naked mole lizard. No.
Naked mom. No.
Nah, but
We're gonna get
on the
banned. We're gonna get deleted off Twitch right now.
On the topic of underground animals, actually, I gotta say, like, I am personally very biased when it comes to this question, but, like, you know, I know who I am. I know what I am. Burrowing owls also live underground using groundhog nests. And I actually had the opportunity, thanks to Jimmy, the Aussie who was in chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but
late
you know,
for him.
he enabled me to sponsor a barn owl at my province's Burrowing Owl Institute. Like they're in,
Wow.
yeah, it's like where burrowing owls who have been displaced as a result of agricultural farming and stuff like that. They'll go there, get rehabilitated, and then released out into the wild. And if they cannot be released out, then they are trained to be ambassadors for the SBOIC, so that they can, you know, obviously raise funds for their whole thing. And I'm